What if I told you there's a country where every citizen is technically a millionaire, where the government owns a piece of almost every major company in the world, and yet you would never know it by looking at the people on the street? Welcome to Oslo. There are no golden Ferraris here, no skyscrapers fighting the clouds. At first glance, Oslo feels simple, calm, even modest. But don't let that simplicity fool you. We just landed in the capital of a country with only 5.5 million people, a small nation that discovered massive reserves of oil and gas, and instead of spending everything, decided to think long-term. While others built palaces and artificial islands, Norway built something far more powerful. They built the largest sovereign wealth fund in the world. Right now, that fund holds over $1.5 trillion. Yes, trillion. In the center of Oslo, there's a live digital display showing the fund's value in real time. The numbers keep climbing every second. And if you divide that money among the population, every Norwegian, even a newborn baby, is theoretically a dollar millionaire. But here's what really shocked me. This fund owns around 1.5% of all publicly traded companies worldwide. That means when you walk through Oslo, you're walking through the city of some of the biggest shareholders on Earth. GDP per capita here is around $106,000 a year. A waiter or a nurse earns roughly $4,500 to $5,000 a month. And yet, you would never guess it. Because wealth here doesn't scream. Millionaires wear knitted sweaters, waterproof jackets, hiking boots, no luxury logos, no designer bags flashing status. The only obvious sign of money, the cars. Oslo is often called the electric car capital of the world. It has the highest concentration of EVs per person. Spotting a brand new gasoline car here is harder than seeing a moose. Why? Massive tax incentives for electric vehicles. Here, taxi drivers casually drive the newest electric models. That's not luxury. That's normal life. The city feels incredibly clean, almost sterile, calm to the point where it feels unreal. New districts like Bjørvika rise straight from the fjord, with buildings that look like glass icebergs. And the famous Oslo Opera House, built from white marble, is designed so you can walk on its roof like it's a public square. It's architecture that quietly says, we're wealthy enough to build beauty. But here comes the reality check. Living in Oslo is expensive, very expensive. Norway consistently ranks among the most expensive countries in the world. A simple pizza in a restaurant, $30 to $40. A beer, around $15. A pack of cigarettes, close to $18. A regular taxi from the airport, it can reach $200. And that's not a luxury service. Even with a $5,000 monthly salary, people budget carefully. Because here, money isn't about showing off. It's about stability. There's a strong cultural rule called the law of Janti, the idea that no one should think they're better than anyone else. If you try to stand out too much, society won't admire you. It will distance itself from you. So yes, there are millionaires here who eat frozen Grandiosa pizza, who bike to work in the rain, who live comfortably, but quietly. You get free healthcare, free education, strong social protection, but you also give up to 50% of your income in taxes. You don't show off. You don't stand out. You don't try to look richer than your neighbor. And that's where the real question begins. Is this the smartest system in the world? Or is it a beautiful, comfortable illusion? Yes, everyone is secure. Yes, the streets are clean. Yes, the future feels protected. But ambition here is quiet. Risk is limited. Flashy success is almost unwelcome. So what would you choose? A country where you keep most of your money but live with uncertainty? Or a country where the system protects you, but also shapes you? I'm honestly curious what you think. Would you live here? Or would this level of calm slowly drive you crazy? What if I told you that London doesn't just attract money, it feeds on it? Welcome to the most elegant financial machine ever built. London doesn't have oil like Norway. It doesn't manufacture tech giants like Silicon Valley. And yet, it remains one of the richest cities on Earth. Why? Because London mastered something far more powerful than resources. It mastered position. For centuries, this city controlled trade routes, insurance, shipping, currency exchange. When the British Empire ruled a quarter of the world, London became the brain of global commerce. The empire is gone, but the system remains. Today, the city of London, just 1 square mile, controls trillions in assets. Deals signed under English law shape global business. Money from the Middle East, Asia, America, Africa, it all passes through here. London doesn't always own the wealth. It manages it, it structures it, it protects it, and earns from it. Walk through Mayfair, and you'll see discreet townhouses worth 20 to 30 million pounds. Old money lives quietly here. Generational wealth, polished accents, private clubs with no signs outside. Then go to Knightsbridge. Supercars, designer stores, penthouse apartments bought in cash. New money is louder. London accepts both. It doesn't care where your money came from. It just cares that it's here. But here's the other side. 5 minutes away from luxury boutiques, you'll find social housing blocks. Families struggling with rent. Teachers and nurses commuting. Hours because they can't afford to live near. Their jobs.it just cares that it's here. But here's the other side. 5 minutes away from luxury boutiques, you'll find social housing blocks. Families struggling with rent. Teachers and nurses commuting hours because they can't afford to live near their jobs. London is extreme contrast. One of the richest cities in the world, and one of the most unequal. Foreign investors buy properties as assets, not homes. Entire buildings with lights off at night. Real estate used like safety deposit boxes. So I keep asking myself, is London creating value? Or is it simply the world's most sophisticated middleman? Brexit was supposed to weaken it. It didn't. Because London isn't just geography. It's networks, lawyers, banks, influence, reputation built over centuries. It's a financial predator, but a very polite one. It doesn't invade anymore. It attracts ambitious bankers, tech founders, designers, students, dreamers. And once you arrive, you enter the game. High rent, high competition, high rewards. London doesn't promise safety. It promises opportunity. But opportunity here comes with pressure. You can become incredibly successful or incredibly exhausted. And that's the real difference between cities like Oslo and London. Oslo offers security. London offers scale. Oslo protects you. London tests you. So here's the uncomfortable question. Is London still a global leader? Or is it just the smartest system ever built to extract value from the rest of the world? Would you choose stability? Or would you choose the arena? Would you rather feel protected or powerful? And more importantly, do cities like London drive global progress? Or do they quietly increase global inequality? I really want to know what you think. Would you build your life here? Or is this level of intensity too high a price to pay? Let me know in the comments. No chaos, no dirty streets, no accidents. What if I told you this is the richest experiment in urban control ever created? Welcome to Singapore. If Oslo is quiet wealth, and London is aggressive capital, then Singapore is engineered success. This country didn't discover oil. It didn't inherit an empire. In 1965, it was a poor island with no natural resources, surrounded by uncertainty. Today, one of the richest countries in the world. GDP per capita, over $80,000. One of the strongest passports on the planet. One of the most powerful financial hubs in Asia. But here's what makes Singapore different. Nothing here is accidental. This city feels like it was designed by engineers, not politicians. The airport runs like a luxury hotel. Public transport works to the minute. The streets are so clean it almost feels artificial. You don't see poverty easily. You don't see disorder. You don't even see chewing gum, because it's basically banned. Singapore built wealth through discipline, low corruption, strategic taxes, strict laws. It became the gateway between East and West, the place where global corporations feel safe, parking their money in Asia. Banks, hedge funds, family offices, tech headquarters. That if London is old financial power, Singapore is young, efficient capital. But here's the part that fascinates me. About 80% of the population lives in government-built housing. Let that sink in. In one of the richest places on earth, most people live in state-developed apartments. And yet, those apartments are clean, modern, safe, and often increase in value. The government here doesn't just regulate the market. It designs society. High salaries, but high living costs. A simple cocktail at a rooftop bar? $25. A car? It can cost more than the car itself just to get permission to own one. Private property prices? Among the highest in the world. Singapore controls space because space is limited. Everything is calculated. Even freedom feels structured. You won't see protests in the streets. You won't see loud political drama. Media is controlled. Laws are strict. Fines are real. Security here is not a promise. It's enforced. And that raises the real question. Is Singapore the future of cities? Hyper-clean, hyper-safe, hyper-efficient? Or is it a perfectly polished system where individuality is quietly reduced for stability? Because here's what I feel walking through Marina Bay at night. It's stunning, futuristic, impressive, but also precise. Almost like living inside a high-performance machine. You are protected, you are safe, you are prosperous, but you are also monitored, regulated, directed. So what matters more? Freedom with chaos? Or control with prosperity? Would you trade a little unpredictability for this level of order? Is Singapore proof that discipline creates wealth? Or proof that wealth requires discipline? I'm really curious what you think. Would you live in the most efficient city in the world? Or would it feel too perfect? Let me know in the comments.